is going on, guys, and welcome. My name is Chris, aka RumblePack92, and you were watching the Shared Screens Media Club. Today, we have Alec, Bobko, and Jordan Deeb joining me to discuss our favorite, most hyped video game trailers of all time. Most might have pretty recent, but we'll get to that. This was kind of a last minute thing where like we need an idea for a video and we saw this in our thing where like, okay, put some trailers together real fast. And I was going back and watching through mine, and boy, we got some good video game trailers to talk about today.
Some trailers are so good.
Video game trailers have only gotten better. They're just excellent across the board these days.
And we're just gonna get started. We're gonna go right off the rip because I got one that literally the first one I picked out, just goosebumps straight away.
All right, I'm ready.
Gonna do the Last of Us Part 2 reveal from PSX 2016.
Ooh, yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, because like it literally starts off, you see like they go through some of the woods and forest and all that, and then you just see Ellie sitting on a bed, her hand just shaking. And then she just starts playing or singing, playing music on the guitar, and see Joel walk in. It's like, and that's, oh my gosh! It's like we had no idea what we were in store for at that point.
What did you say? I'm gonna kill every last one.
I'm gonna kill every last one of them.
Oh, it's so good.
How you doing, kiddo? Yeah, good ass trailer.
That's a good.
And I mean, I'm saying fun, and I haven't watched it in years. That's how good it is.
Oh yeah.
It's funny. It's funny you picked Last of Us Part 2. I considered adding one, and I looked to see if it was like a genuine trailer. I went and saw. I watched the Last of Us Part 2 gameplay reveal from E3. I believe it was 2017, 2018. It's like a 12-minute thing. It was a whole like E3 showcase.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, not technically a trailer, but in a similar vein though. It's like I just remember watching it and at the time I was like, bullshit. There's no way this game is that good.
Right? Is that the one where they showed the PS Vita?
Yeah. It starts out with her like in the forest, and then it goes into the building under the water, and she comes up and stabs the chick playing the Vita. Yeah, very good trailer.
Which very timely for that because the remaster just got announced.
Shout out.
I'm ready to be. Josh put it best where he tweeted, "I'm ready to be emotionally destroyed again," because that game's rough.
Yep.
Oh,
like
absolutely.
I replayed through one and then rewatched. Of course, we all watched the show for one. It's like, okay, like it's a dark world, but like the story like is weirdly hopeful, and then two just keeps kicking you. Like it doesn't stop.
I remember having to take breaks during my playthrough of 2. Like I remember there was one point, I think it was maybe like 8 or 9 o'clock at night, and I remember finishing just a segment of it. I'm like, that's too much for one night.
Yeah, it's like time to log off.
Like go watch some TV and just chill because that was a lot.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah, it hits you. It hits you. Jordan, hit me with your first pick. What you got?
So my first pick is a trailer that I think is so good because I haven't even played this franchise, and I'm like, this trailer is great. And it might have been, this might be a, what do you call it? A conditioning thing, because this trailer played nonstop when I worked at Best Buy, so it gets stuck in my head a lot. But and I didn't realize it was live action at the time, I guess, but it's the live action The Wanderer trailer for Fallout 4.
Oh,
it uses that song, The Wanderer, by, I think it's Dion, Dion, I believe is the artist name.
Yeah.
And it fits because it's a classic like old school song with that retro futurism vibe of just the wasteland. And like every time I think about wanting to jump into Fallout for the first time, I think of that trailer and just being The Wanderer.
Yeah, it was a cool.
Yeah, that's the one where they're going over like the weapons and all that.
There's nothing but this song, so it's just like a montage of the player character walking to different places. Not going over weapons, but I think like by the end of it, they have the armor.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's like kind of them leveling up and just like blowing shit up. But no, there's no going over what. Like it's straight up just this piece of the song.
Oh, okay. I must be thinking of a different one because while we're here, I guess I'll just say one of mine was I had the Fallout 4 announcement trailer where they start off.
Gotcha.
You get the where you see basically at the beginning of the game where it kind of flashes back and forth between before the bomb goes off and after it goes off, and you hear the announcement of the guy saying, "Ladies and gentlemen, nuclear bombs are going off," or whatever he says. And And just how hype that was, because something I was about to say was, or not about to say, but what I was thinking is Fallout 4. That's kind of, that trailer that kind of it started that hype cycle. What people think about when they do like the quick, 4 to 6 month,
Mhm.
announcement to release kind of thing. Everybody
Yeah.
goes back to Fallout 4 because that was like one of the first times that was actually done successfully.
Yeah,
Definitely.
you don't get to see that too often. So my first pick is actually one that we all watched together live. And so for you, the
Ooh.
audience, if you wanted to, you can go see our what was it, 2021 E3 reactions to the Xbox conference specifically, because mine is the Halo Infinite multiplayer reveal trailer. When you think hype,
Yes.
especially coming off of Halo Infinite's very tumultuous dev cycle, where like the previous year they'd shown off gameplay of the campaign, and then everyone shit their beds, and they were like, okay, actually we're delaying it till next year. uh,
Mm-hmm.
and so that original trailer was only campaign footage, so when
Yeah.
they showed it off the next year, they're like, okay, here's what the multiplayer will look like. Here's a bunch of new abilities within it, all the things you can do. There's a big emphasis on like throwing the cubes and the grapple and the new maps and weapons. Like I was just, you can go back and watch our reaction to it. I was literally screaming,
Oh yeah.
He was.
actually
Like
genuinely screaming.
the moment where he hit the repulsor to bounce back the grenade.
So good. It's so good. It's a fantastic trailer, and like I just totaled it the other day. I looked at both my Xbox and Steam play times, and so I have now
Mm.
put over like 600-ish hours into Halo Infinite or so,
Nice.
and I'm still trash. And like I still think about that multiplayer trailer and just like the feelings around it, and us seeing it for
Mhm.
the first time, and like finally having like this modern version of what looked like a very classic style Halo gameplay, and just it gets me going every time. I got to load up the game after I watch that trailer every single time. It's fucking rad. I absolutely
Mhm.
love it. Who went first? Al, what's your next pick?
Yeah. I mean, I gotta swing big again just because it's one of the best. Smash Bros. Ultimate, everybody is here.
Yeah, I had
Yeah,
that one too.
like, come on.
It
Like,
doesn't get any better than that. Genuinely, the
it
most hype video game trailer I've ever
right.
seen.
I think the only thing that's more hype than that trailer is the footage of that trailer airing at the Nintendo store in
Mm.
NYC and watching, like, you
Yeah.
get the audience reaction with the trailer. Like,
I remember
Like,
exactly where I was, what I was doing, who I
oh
was
yeah, same.
with when that trailer dropped. Like like we were already really excited for a new Smash Brothers, especially since like the previous one had come out like 2-3 years prior. Like it wasn't very long.
Yeah.
no, yeah.
And like there was a lot of confusion, like because the previous trailer prior to the Everyone Is Here was the announcement trailer
That's the one I remember because
with the big flaming Smash Ball and the
yeah.
Inklings, yeah.
Yep.
And
Because we thought it was just
so
another Splatoon DLC thing, and then it was like, nope, Smash Bros.
actually
Logo.
Smash Brothers, and like they didn't have the title yet. It was the Everyone Is Here trailer was E3 time,
Yeah.
and they had other trailers go alongside that. So that was the first time that so like that day we got the name Super Smash Brothers Ultimate. We got a release date,
Mhm.
and then of course that trailer was
For
to
that
show off the
year.
cast of it. Yeah. It was like release 6 months away. Like just
Yeah, because E3
phenomenal.
2018 and what? It was December 2018.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's
phenomenal,
another.
incredible
And
trailer.
like, it was one of those, like, once you saw Ice Climbers back, it's like, oh,
They mean everyone.
Oh
they
yeah,
well, that,
I
and then even third party characters like Cloud coming back,
well,
like
the words "Everyone Is Here" comes up after they reveal Snake because he didn't make it
Snake.
into
Yes,
four.
yes, yep.
And then it's like Young Link, Pichu, and they're showing off
Yeah,
all these characters that nobody, like Pokemon trainers back to being Pokemon trainer, not individual characters
not
because
just
the
Charizard.
3DS
Yeah.
couldn't handle it. Like yeah, it was sick.
Mhm.
Oh, is that really what happened in Smash 4?
Oh yeah,
That's why the Pokemon
Ice Climbers.
are individual characters and the Ice Climbers are not in it because the 3DS could not handle like one character being multiple
Multiple.
characters at
Yeah,
the same time.
I did not know that.
I
Wow.
think that's why wasn't Sheik and Zelda they split apart in that one
Yes,
too?
that is also true,
Because
and
yeah, I
then they
couldn't
kept
handle
that.
the transform.
Yep,
Interesting.
yep.
Yeah, little old 3DS.
I played the shit out of it on the 3DS. Don't get me wrong, but like,
Right.
I was very excited to see Pokemon Trainer be and Ice Climbers come back.
Yeah. I only ever had used the 3DS as a controller to play 8-person Smash at a party.
I did that a couple times too.
Worked surprisingly well.
Yeah,
Also,
honestly.
I know we're talking about Smash Ultimate, but shout out to the 3DS version that had, what was it, the Smash Run, where you could like do like the power ups and that. Like, I much preferred that mode over the one that was in the Wii U.
I didn't have this on, and so it wasn't like an initial pick, but that does remind me. I don't know if you guys have seen the TV commercial for the original Smash Brothers on the N64.
Yeah, where it's like people in like mascot costumes.
It's
Pikachu, in the
Mario, Donkey Kong, and somebody else. Who
Yoshi.
else was it? Yoshi. Yeah, and they're literally just like they're skipping in a field, and then they start beating the shit out of each other. It's very good.
It's a very good one.
Imagine just like driving through and just seeing that filming location.
Right. I know, like, what the fuck? What is happening? Anyway, Jordan, what's your next one?
I have one, like, Chris, when you were talking beforehand, you're like, which ones are just the ones that live rent-free in my head? And this is one that lives rent-free in my head because it is an iconic commercial, but if you also think about it from like a marketing or advertising perspective, it's maybe not the best way to like explain the premise of this game, but it's the Pokemon Red and Blue bus commercial.
Oh, do you guys know what I'm talking about? That one. Absolutely, I do.
There's a bus driver who is just picking up each of the Pokemon like as if they're school kids, and rather than dropping them off to wherever they need to be, takes them to a junkyard and starts squeezing the bus together. And you watch the Pokemon all like start screaming and being like, "We're about to get crushed to death." And rather than crush it into a cube of spare metal, it crushes it into a Game Boy, and it just cuts to the bus driver sitting in the junkyard playing his Game Boy Color, and it says "Collect all 151 on the Game Boy, Pokemon Red, Pokemon Blue." Excellent trailer, but also weirdly dark.
Yeah,
because he squishes them all.
He really does. And I won't go on a big tangent about this one, but I also want to shout out the Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver commercial with the Sprouse twins.
I forgot about that one. Oh my god,
that's the real one that lives rent free in my head because they do the weird thing where they make Pokemon 3 syllables where they're like, "I play Pokemon Soul Silver version."
Yeah, it's very good.
Yeah, that one is like a weird that was a moment in time. But the bus one, I'm like that. I don't even remember where I would have seen that. I just like at some point as I became a person, I went, "That's something that's in my brain."
Also, shout out to Dylan Sprouse for actually being a legit gamer and went on to commentate a bunch of professional Smash Bros. Tournaments.
Good for him.
You know? Yeah. Who's up next? Is it me? Yay.
It is you.
So, the one that I picked is very on brand. I think as anyone that has played the game knows that every trailer for Star Wars Battlefront 2 is extremely hype. Like quality off the charts, just in terms of being a visual feast of what the video game is. I've chosen this one in particular. It is the title of it is the Rise of Skywalker trailer. And so what it entails is to coincide with the Rise of Skywalker's release, and they'd done it previously with The Last Jedi, is they put out a map on one of the new planets in the film, added a couple new characters, some costumes for characters that match what they wear in the movie and that sort of thing, and put it out like a couple weeks before the movie debuted, so you could kind of get a taste of sort of what was coming, get real hype about it and that sort of thing. So this one had like BB-8 and BD-1 in it. You got new costumes for Rey, Finn, and Kylo Ren, and Palpatine. I forgot about that. And then what was crazy about this though was that this was also the update that introduced the Star Wars Battlefront 2 Celebration Edition. And in this trailer, in the second half of the trailer, after they show off all of the Rise of Skywalker stuff, it's just a montage of things across the entire Star Wars saga, and it's fucking incredible. The Force theme swells up, and you see like Luke walking up to Han and Leia, and Darth Vader turns around, and then it crossfades into Anakin in the same pose.
I just watched.
It's fucking awesome. The whole thing is great. You get this sweet like crosscut from the clones into the stormtroopers. Like, god damn, it's a fucking amazing trailer. I watch it all the time. I'm not
Mhm.
kidding. When I just need a quick shot of Star Wars in the arm, I pull this bitch up because it's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
That might be the most hype one on my list personally. I
Oh, that's a
goosebumps
good
every
one.
single time.
Yeah.
Yeah. You mentioned something that in one of the trailers I mean, I guess I was gonna maybe save it as like my I'll save it.
All right then, Al, you're up,
Yeah,
baby.
sorry.
Let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna go with a interesting pick. Going back through, I was doing a bit of research from this one, and uh, there's one for Control that I thought was really cool. One of their kind of
Oh,
first trailers they had, it's called the Oldest House trailer, and
okay.
I think this is the right link. If I can post that in the chat, but
If this is a fucking Rickroll, I swear to God.
but what it is, it's just going through the visuals. You don't see any gameplay in this. It's not necessarily a cinematic trailer, but the director of the game said that they're trying to make it like almost like a nature documentary.
Whoa.
And just kind of it's basically one of those trailers that it gives you the vibe of the game.
Yeah.
And honestly, like I'm not much of a horror game fan, but this was more on the X Files vibe rather than more kind of like horror.
Yeah.
So it's like just the real like intrigue and like what the heck is going on kind of a thing.
Yeah, I'm watching this
So
right
it's
now. First off, the visuals in this game are out of their mind.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
Amazing.
Control is such an amazing game. Like it's one of those games that it's like it plays and looks great on console, but if you're able to play it on a good PC and like get the ray tracing and get all the visual fidelity, oh that game just looks so much better.
I'm about
Yeah,
to
no.
start playing this for like the actual first time, and I'm really this is just getting me more and more hype. Like, wow, it looks amazing.
Yeah. And it's like has cool voiceover from like one of the first people you meet in the game of
Cool.
like the director of the department of control, and it's just a real cool like kind of voiceover to kind of just get it sets the mood,
Yeah.
because that's something I've found like there's almost like kind of two kinds of trailers that I've found. One of them is, you know, a lot like this one and like some of the others we've talked about, where it just like kind of just sets the tone. Like it doesn't really give a lot away, like
Mm-hmm.
you know, like The Last of Us to you know, this one. But then you have the other ones like the Smash Bros. Everybody's Here, where that literally gives everything away about the game.
Yeah. Yeah. No kidding.
So, but each are hype in their own way.
Yeah. I'm with you where like the ones where like they can capture the vibe of the entire game in one trailer, I feel like are some of the most successful ones because like
Hmm.
you're you're always going to want like the trailer that is like more of the developer deep dive or has a voiceover where they're explaining a mechanic so that way you can actually understand why what you're
Hmm.
seeing is important.
Hmm.
But ones that are just like, hey, this is about the vibes, like we're using dialogue, we're using stuff that's not even in the game, like
Yeah.
just to show you, like those ones I think stick out more.
And those are also good too because it doesn't give you any, you know, hints of story. It doesn't really give you a hint of what the gameplay is. Because like this, like I think this was, like I said, this was like one of the first, if not the first trailer that came out for Control. So you had no idea what kind of game it was, what kind of gameplay there was in it.
Nah, yeah.
So yeah.
Jordan, hit it.
All right, I have a one. Well, I have multiple, but this one is actually not for a specific game. It's just for PlayStation, and I'm specifically
Nice.
talking about the PlayStation 4 Perfect Day commercial. Have you guys seen this one?
Yes, I remember that
I
one.
This
probably
one
have.
is essentially it's a musical because I'm making sure I'm grabbing the right link here. Um, where it's two guys are like LARPing in like Skyrim-esque outfits and hitting each other. And while they're sparring, they are singing the opening to that song "Perfect Day," where like drank sangria in the bar. I'm trying not to get
Oh,
copyrighted here.
right, right.
Yeah, and then as they go
I
into the chorus,
recognize it
it
now.
switches to a
Yeah.
racing game, and they're crashing into each other while singing
Yep.
"Oh, it's such a perfect day." And
Yep.
like that one, I feel like has always just been great about what is so fun about not even I'm not going to say multiplayer, but more old school couch multiplayer or co-op,
Hmm.
where it's like you
Hmm.
bring a friend over all day and you do nothing but play these different games, but you play them together, and it's not so much you could be playing a shittier game, but it's about the experience you have with the friend that makes the experience fun.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so that's why that commercial is one that's stuck out to me as just like not for a specific game, but with gaming.
Yep. Much like how in our Gotham Knights review, like Austin and I, since we played by ourselves, didn't have a great time, but you and Lee Aaron had a pretty good time.
Shitty game, fun time, man.
So yeah, there are definitely those games that are just like made better by playing like with somebody.
Oh yeah.
Which is really nice. It enhances the experience. Now, Al, similar to your control thing, basically most of the rest of the ones that I have lined up kind of do similar things to where it's not necessarily like showing up the gameplay or giving too much in the story. It's really just kind of setting the tone. It's telling you what the vibe of this is going to be, and to get ready because it's going to be off the wall. And so the first one that I picked was the original Death Stranding reveal trailer back from 2016.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Where the naked Daryl trailer.
Where you have naked Norman Reedus waking up on a beach, handprints in the sand. He's got a baby for some reason, and he starts crying. He looks up, and there's like dead whales and dudes floating in the sky. I was like, you got this sick song by Low Roar like playing alongside it as well. Like it's fucking awesome. And it's like if you need somebody to just set the tone for a video game, I mean, nobody's going to do that better than Kojima. And so I remember just watching this and being like, I don't know what this is, but I know I'm going to play it.
Yeah.
It's nobody edits a trailer quite like Kojima does.
I mean, really, I'm at this point, I'm thankful that he never actually broke into movies and stuck with video games because, man, we get special stuff every time he goes to make something. I love it.
Agreed.
Absolutely.
Look at those pasty little cheeks.
I look at him, dude. He's all cheeked up.
Just like we really got a butt shot at E3 and cheered.
Yeah, absolutely. Dude, like you ain't ever want to see Daryl Dixon's butt. Come on, be real.
That's fair.
Be real. You know. All right, Alec. What else you got for me?
Yeah, we'll do another E3 trailer. Because this was like one of the last ones I actually put on my list. We're gonna go with the Cyberpunk 2077 cinematic trailer.
Yeah, I had this one too. Let's go.
Just because it's the one, it kind of sets, again, another one that just sets the tone for that story. Like it's like one of the first missions you do, and it's a real cinematic. Like honestly, there was a couple of times where I was watching, it's like, is this live action? Like it just looks
amazing.
And then at the end, basically I put in parentheses in my notes, just this is the Keanu reveal where we first see him as Johnny Silverhand.
God.
Yeah.
I'll never forget that pop off, dude. Wake the
yeah.
fuck up, samurai. We got a city to burn.
I remember watching that at a on break when I was working at Best Buy, like with a bunch of coworkers on an iPad, and just the pop off, and we're like, "Wait, is that fucking Keanu Reeves?" And they were like, "Wait, no, he's there,"
and then he shows
there.
up, yeah. And we're like, "Ah!"
But one thing I realized in the trailer that I hadn't noticed before is like you see him like actually glitch away, like, and you think this because like your systems are rebooting and all that, but it's like now
it turns out he's just in your brain.
Yeah. It's one of those things that's like means nothing when you actually watch the trailer, but once you play the game, it's like, oh,
and then you get more out of it. Yeah. And I love that pick too, just because like aesthetic is such a huge part of Cyberpunk, just in general. Like I'm still making my way through it. I'm about to start Phantom Liberty here soon, and every time that I load up the game, I just sit in it for a little while. I drive around, I turn the radio on in the car, and I just drive around Night City because just existing in that world is so cool, right? It's just cool. It's dystopian as shit, and I would not actually want to live there. But there's something about it that's just so enticing, and you want to just go cause some havoc.
The atmosphere, because you literally boot up the game, and every time it's "Good Morning Night City,"
I love
just
it, man.
gets you in that mood, like.
Yeah, it's excellent, and I think that trailer captures the feeling of like playing the game and running around Night City and doing stuff in it very, very well, and it might honestly part of the reason I even like the game as much as I did back when it first came out. I enjoyed Cyberpunk when it released, just because, I mean, yeah, the vibe of it is so cool. Jordan, what else you got for me, baby?
I have a series of commercials that actually are funny because they exist within another series of of commercials, and it's the bigger one. I have like no real memory or not like nostalgia for, which is the PS3 Kevin Butler commercials. I don't really remember them that character.
Yeah.
What I do remember, however, is the Marcus PSP commercials. And I don't know what the actor's name is, but they made a character named Marcus Rivers who's like this like 12-year-old kid, and he'd always be like I just rewatched some of the other ones, and he's like telling Kevin Butler that like nah they're like you need a face for PSP. He's like step your game up, Marcus PSP, and these stuck with me, and I think it's because the actor was like on a few different Nickelodeon and Disney shows here and there. Like he'd kind of pop in when they needed a character
Oh yeah.
that age. So these are a series of commercials. Like I just dropped the compilation of all of them in here, but
Oh yeah, I know this kid.
yeah, he had like I just remember all of them
Mhm.
ending with "Step your game up, Marcus PSP," and like it just the PSP was so cool back in the day. You know, it's kind of when every piece of tech
Mhm.
had to be its own thing rather than one device. So it was like the PSP did try to have all of it plus gaming in one, and so this I remember kind of cementing me just wanting a PSP so badly.
Mhm.
I played
The
the
days
Force
of having to
Unleashed on
have
the
an
PSP.
iPod and yeah.
I originally when I was in 6th grade got an iPod Nano Video, the little wide square one for Christmas, but I actually ended up exchanging it for a PSP because the PSP could still play music and it could still play movies, but it could also play video games. And so I would show up to places listening to music, and then people would be like, "All right, take your headphones out." Instead of pulling out an iPod, I'd pull out an entire fucking PSP. Songs on my PSP included Lil Wayne's Lollipop, Shake It by Metro Station, and a bunch of the Pokemon theme songs.
Let's go.
Mhm.
Solid
Yeah.
collection.
Oh,
I
the
do like
days of
I do like your shout out there, Alan. Back in the days of carrying multiple devices, one for
Yep.
music, one for games. You had your cell phone,
Yep.
Yeah.
and that was before like crossbody bags or anything were really popular.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
we were just loading these in our fucking cargo shorts,
Dude,
I was
you
like
know.
cargo shorts
I,
specifically,
I
yes.
threw a DS in my pocket for like 5 minutes today. I'm like, this feels fucking wrong. Like, this is a lot
Oh,
in one
yeah.
pocket.
Yep.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
especially like once you got to like the XL and stuff. Like
Yeah, because I
it
have the
was big.
2DS
Shout out
XL.
to
Yeah.
the DS Lite though for being so compact and fitting. I almost miss when
Mhm.
handhelds were this small. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is why I want foldable technology to take off because I want to put something in my bag that's like this big. Listen, give me a Game Boy Advance SP, but then
Mhm.
let me like fold it out 4 times and make a Switch.
Right?
I have a coworker who has one of the foldable smartphones, and I'm like, "Fuck, it's really cool. I want
Oh
one."
Yeah.
yeah, I came across those working at Best Buy, and like the ones that open up to this way make more sense to me because if I want a foldable phone, it's like I want a standard phone and then a bigger thing. Not I want
Sure.
something compact in my pocket and I fold it open to make a standard phone.
Mhm.
Nah, see, I want it smaller in my pocket. I need less going on here. I wear a lot of skinny jeans.
Damn, all right, guess someone's got a lot going on there.
I wear
Good
a
for
lot of
you,
skinny
bro.
jeans. I'm a big metalcore guy. I need less in my pockets. No,
Gotcha.
I got a lot of extra room. Don't get me wrong, but like, don't worry about that. I'm taking us back a little bit. Most of
Okay.
my picks have been last gen. We're going one more gen behind that too, because I first played this game on the
Ooh.
360. Now the Assassin's Creed series has a lot
Yes.
of really great iconic trailers. You have the original, right? Like Altair in the crowd running up to where they're about to hang the guy shooting the crossbow and everything. You have the Assassin's Creed 2 where we see Ezio for the first time. You get the reveal of the dual blades, right? One of my favorites. You have the Brotherhood one to introduce the concept of being able to like summon assassins. He's in this crowd and all he just look up and like people start falling around him as all these assassins come out of nowhere. All sick.
Yeah.
My favorite one is for Assassin's Creed Revelations,
Yep.
where you have an older Ezio making his way to Masyaf and is beset upon by Templars. What's cool is that there are two versions of this trailer, and both of them are amazing. I'm partial to the original one just because you get this really, really great song by I cannot remember the artist's name now, and that's really gonna bother me. Woodkid. That is his name. Is Iron by Woodkid.
Yeah. Yep.
Uh, Over this montage of Ezio taking on an entire fucking crowd of
Well,
enemies, right?
yeah, what's
And
cool about this one is that like you see him get
yeah,
shot with the arrow,
just
and
breaks it off.
just because, and then that's when it just kicks off because you see him and he looks all old and like gray hair and everything, and you're like, how the heck is this gonna work in this game? Like he's gonna be slow and it's like, nope,
No, he will not be. He will not be.
he's
In fact,
at the top of his game.
and then what's really cool is that is like they showed that version with the song at E3, and then a little later on YouTube and on like Ubisoft's website they posted an extended cut of it. I think it's like 10 seconds longer. But what's cool about that is that rather than the music, there's voiceover from Ezio playing all
Ooh,
throughout the trailer of him writing a letter to his sister Claudia, talking about why he's going to Masyaf and what he's expecting there, and you get a surprising amount of character development from the time in between Brotherhood and Revelations to really set the tone of where Ezio's at and who he is, why he's doing the things he's doing. It's just really cool, and like yeah, it sets the vibe. It introduces the plot basically to it. It's like
mhm.
we get that scene of him murking an entire crowd just to be like, no, this is still Assassin's Creed. Like Ezio's older, but it's Assassin's Creed. Like, don't worry. And it's also a gorgeous trailer. I was watching it. It's all CG. Like it holds up to this day, man. It's a beautiful, beautiful
Mhm.
trailer. Highly, highly recommended, especially because it ends on the same platform where you basically start off on in Assassin's Creed, the original,
Yeah.
playing as Altair, and you get this great moment where Ezio looks over and he can essentially see like the reflection, the ghost of Altair, like making the leap of faith alongside him. Like it's fucking cool, amazing, amazing
Mhm.
trailer. What were we talking about? Yeah, game trailers. Alec, what you
Yeah.
got any more?
Yeah, I got a couple more. I guess this next one it's more of a commercial than a trailer, but
Sure.
just Halo 3 Starry Night. Come on.
Yeah,
So,
debut during
you
the
know,
Super Bowl.
Super Bowl. Yeah. And basically it starts off with, these two kids laying in the field looking up at the stars, and they're like one of those, you wonder if there's any life out there or wondering what they're thinking of them kind of a thing, and then it just pans up and you just see Master Chief's helmet on the ground.
Amazing.
Amazing. And then it cuts over. You see him. You can kind of hear some chatter over radio, but because he doesn't have his helmet on, you can't hear it. And then once he puts it on, he's like, "We haven't heard anything from Chief. Is he okay? Or where is he?" And it's like, "I'm fine." And it just pans
I'm
back,
here.
and he puts the bubble shield down as the
Oh,
artillery's coming down around. And
oh.
it is just, it's only a minute long, but it is just hype.
It's up there. I did kind of have on my list similarly, just kind of every Halo 3 trailer. Like they were all really good because I mean, like we're talking about hype. Halo 3 was one of the most hyped video games
Yeah.
of all time, and I think
Yeah.
that's probably my
Be-
favorite of the series that they did for Halo 3. Shout out to the Believe trailer though too,
yes. That was
where
also,
they actually
yeah,
set up like a whole like miniatures diorama and shot through it, and then Master Chief like looks up at the end while he's like hanging in the hands of a brute and says "Believe." I just woo, chills.
yeah. Yep.
Woo, good one. Starry Night. Yeah, what a good fucking trailer. Good pick. Good pick.
I wish I
Jordan?
had a 360 around then because I got a original Xbox late. And
Mm,
then of course, the ending of the Halo 2 campaign, the infamous cliffhanger of
yeah.
finish this fight. I
Finishing this
remember like
fight.
thinking, "Oh, cool, ready for this epic level," and then just cut to credits like,
Nope.
"Oh."
Not happening. Not this
And then
game.
I saw Halo 3's on the 360. It's like,
Well.
"Cool. Don't have that."
Ooh.
He's still never seen the end. I guess the
No,
beginning of Halo 3.
no,
He
no,
still,
I
I
did
still
no,
never got
no,
it.
no idea how Halo 3 ends.
No.
I did before Halo Infinite came out.
So the last one of like the non-video game specific trailers, but gaming trailers I'm gonna pitch, but not the last trailer I have, is what IGN, because this is their upload I'm looking at, called the Long Live Play Sony character commercial. And this is the
Oh.
one that takes place in a bar. I don't know if you guys remember this from the PS3 era. And there's just kind of like generic army men who walk into this pub, and they start, walking around the bar, and you hear people talking about somebody who helped them during the story, and we actually see a few little iconic faces. We see what is technically the first live action Nathan Drake. We see
Oh, okay.
these XCOM people sit down. We see Cole McGrath talking. We see Kratos. We see a little sister from Bioshock. We see one of the assassins. I don't know which one it is because I've never played Assassin's Creed. But they all start talking about this man, Michael. And then they show up a picture, and it's just some dude with a DualShock 3. And it's like this is like it's kind of like it's all the save files talking to each other
That's
about
cool.
the player who owns the PlayStation. And that's always been a cool way to look at it for me, of just like you're all these different characters as like friends who help, because they're all telling, like Nathan Drake's going like, oh, there's this time I fell out of a plane and he helped me through. And then like the end is like this arm again. There's like several generic army characters in here that start like, when we were surrounded and there was no way out, he was the one that got us out of there. And like they just start cheering for this dude, and like they show up a picture and it's just some guy. It's just some dude.
I love that.
Yeah,
It's just a
That
I'll
is
guy.
send the. I forgot I didn't send the link, but if you guys want to jump to the 2-minute mark, that's where like you'll see the picture of just the dude at the DualShock 3, who's like this huge hero to the people in this bar. But that one stuck with me for years.
I love that.
That is
That's
awesome.
amazing.
Oh, I do remember this commercial now. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I almost feel like I need to pull this up real fast.
You
Just
should
like,
definitely, yeah, I would definitely skim it because like
PlayStation always got super creative with their advertisements like
Oh,
this,
yeah.
and I love that sort of thing, especially because they like a lot of them are live action like this, right? Which is really cool. Yeah, I had forgotten about this one. Like getting old Snake and Nathan Drake and Cole McGrath and all these people in there. Like, there's the fucking clown from Twisted Metal. Like, yeah, I forgot about this, man.
Anthony Mackie.
Anyway,
no, it's such a fun commercial.
So mine is kind of a twofer because they're both of these trailers essentially do the same thing, and so to set the stage, set the tone, I'd like to ask you who's next, because I have the Mortal Kombat X and Mortal Kombat 11 announcement trailers for the both of them. So X, you had like a shot of this snowy barren forest. Camera pans and there stands Scorpion looking at Sub-Zero, and this fucking song by Wiz Khalifa starts up and they start beating the absolute fuck out of each other. Yeah, and then similarly for Mortal Kombat 11, it starts out with Scorpion killing Sub-Zero, and then this 21 Savage song starts and here comes Raiden and they're fucking going at it. It's just they're rendered so well. I mean, it's like not that you need anyone to really like set the vibe of a Mortal Kombat game, but I think it shows off sort of like the graphic fidelity at the time. The Mortal Kombat X trailer looks a little rougher compared to the 11, but they're both really really great trailers. Like it's like new Mortal Kombat. This is what you want, right? Like they show off the X-ray function in Mortal Kombat X. You get like this really grisly fatality from Scorpion that ended up in the game. Like it's just great trailers. I don't know what it is. I think it's definitely sort of a nod towards the FGC, but like throwing a sick hip hop song over footage of a fighting game is just rad. And it works for me every time. It's so funny if you go through the comments, everyone's like, "This trailer would have been awesome without this shitty music." Shut the fuck up. This rules,
right?
All right.
Oh no, licensed music in game commercials. Like I almost threw in the I don't remember if it's Dead Island or Dead Rising, but the one that uses Happy
Guaranteed.
Together.
Yeah, dope. Shout out! You want to talk iconic trailer? Shout out to the original Dead Island trailer.
Yeah,
that was a big one.
Yeah,
I remember. I remember that one. I remember that one making waves back when it started. Just rapid firing here too. Shout out to the original like Witcher 3 trailer as well. I didn't even really like the Witcher games that much. But it was what was called like the Killing Monsters cinematic trailer. Like it's literally just kind of like Geralt fucking up some dudes, and like it's a rad trailer. Those always end up being my favorite parts of The Witcher, whether it's in the TV show or the video game. I just like watching Geralt absolutely kick ass, and so that bit's rad. Goodness, dude,
Just watching, like, oh
he's
man,
just
that should
like
be
me
me.
for real.
All right, I
Al,
got
you got any more?
yeah, it's got a couple more pretty quick ones. First one is uh before we knew it was Tears of the Kingdom. It was the first
Ooh.
trailer we got. When it was
Mm.
they literally, you go on YouTube and the video is called "Sequel to Breath of the Wild E3 2021 trailer or teaser," and that's the one where it starts off and you kind of see Ganon in his like old decrepit form, and then
Mhm.
you just hear that music cue kick off, and you just see Link skydiving off of the island, and
So good.
it's the such an amazing, like, it literally, just thinking about that song, that music cue just gives me chills
It's
because
good.
Nintendo are just wizards when it comes to Legend of Zelda music.
Actually, though.
Like,
Koji
yeah.
Kondo, fucking incredible.
hmm And
Fucking
so that's
incredible.
just one of those trailers, and it's one of the is because it was the first time we saw this, so there was so much theorizing about like all these powers because we saw that's where we first saw the rewind feature, the ascend,
Oh
like,
yeah.
and like people were having like hour-long podcast
They're like,
discussions
what
just
is this? What could
theorizing.
this mean? Yeah.
Yeah,
Crazy shit.
and now we know.
And now we
Now we
know.
know.
Jordan, what
And
about
then
you, man?
my
What you got? Oh, I'm sorry. Go
oh,
ahead.
sorry, I got one more last one. It's another Halo Infinite trailer.
Yeah.
The game overview trailer from E3 2021. Kind of that
Mm.
same one where they it's more about it was more about the campaign, but it's like, I just, to me, this just sticks out in my head because when they were showing it, I just remember Chris yelling out, "Oh, is this gameplay?" Like when he's like jumping through, because it's like the beginning of the game where you see Chief just jumping between like the platforms and all
Yeah.
that. And it's where you first see that they have a grapple shot in this game.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh yeah, yeah. It's that cutscene like right from the beginning too, like not long
yeah,
after Chief wakes up, where
after,
the
yep,
pilot's on the radio
yep.
and he's like, it's you're just one man, like that's not enough.
Hey,
It
you
just
have
goes,
one bullet
it's
against an army.
enough.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah,
And
and then he fires the grapple shot, and then it goes into a first person shot, and that was when I was like, "Is this gameplay?" I was
yeah,
like, "Oh my
yeah,
god!"
Fuck
That's
yeah, it
right, I
was.
but
forgot about
then
that.
But then at the end of it too, it's when he's talking to the new AI. I forget her name.
The weapon.
The weapon.
Siri.
Yes. Yeah.
Technically, it's
Um.
Cortana, but I mean, whatever.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, he said he said the new AI. So I was like, well, it's not Cortana, it's Siri.
No, she names herself Cortana at the end of that. It's funny, but also
Oh.
her name is Cortana.
Yeah. But yeah, but it's just cool, like when he talks to her and she goes through her whole thing of like, oh, Cortana's deleted and I was supposed to be deleted at the end of the thing. It's like, still here. And that's when we get the iconic line of the mission change.
Missions change.
It always does. Yes.
Mm. The new AI, the Halo Infinite 2 featuring Master Chief and Chat GPT.
Please no. Please no.
Jordan.
All right. I have two more. So in the second one, like, because I'm going like, my first one is my last one is purposely my last one, right?
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
the runner up is the Marvel Spider-Man Be Greater extended trailer,
Yes.
which is the fucking great one where Mr. Negative punches him, and it's
Like
not
through
really
time.
in the game, but like it's implied, like when I saw
Tunnelgate?
this, that it was going to take place during that crane demo that
Yeah.
they showed us. And it's every one of the Sinister Six, minus one of them. Haha. We didn't know at the time. Knocking him down, and it's like every time he crashes, but then you hear May's voice being like, "Peter, it's time to get up, Peter," and his eyes shoot up, and he doesn't just shoot all the way back up, as he hits
Beats the
everybody
fuck out of the
coming
Sinister
back
Six
up.
on his way back up.
It's so good, and somebody in the comments is like, the thing that's great about this trailer is that it's not great for Spider-Man PS4. It's great for Spider-Man. It's that Spider-Verse thing of no matter how many times I get knocked down, I still come back up.
Mhm.
And it reminds us why he's so good, because again, he will always get up, get back on his feet, and do what he needs to do. And that's what's so good about this. But the other trailer I have, I think actually does the same idea better for their character. And that is what I think is not just a great video game trailer. I think this is possibly one of the greatest pieces of media for this character ever. And it's the official announcement trailer for Batman Arkham Knight father to son.
Oh, yeah.
And it's
Oh,
specifically
yeah.
the middle part where we hear Thomas Wayne voiceover reading his last will and testament. And I think if you translated that word for word, shot for shot, whether it be to a comic, to a live action movie, to a animated movie, you would basically just encapsulate what it means to be Batman right there, where it's the juxtaposition of him saying, don't spend this on expensive cars and obnoxious clothes, but they show the Batmobile and the bat suit, obviously, because he means it in like, don't become the douchebag trust fund baby, but he did still break those rules, but not in the way his father meant, and he's still giving back to the city his father wanted. And there's also like, don't waste it on a destructive lifestyle, and he probably meant, you know, like hookers and cocaine, but Batman's a destructive lifestyle in its own way. And that one has always stuck with me because, like, again, it's not a good video game trailer, it's a good Batman kind of like summary. And that's why, like, when you said before about what makes the Star Wars celebration section of that trailer so good, is that it's not about Battlefront 2 2015, it's about Star Wars in that moment, and this one is just about Batman in the moment.
I love that. I haven't watched that one in forever. Shout out! I used to use that that Spider-Man trailer though as part of my going live montage before my streams would go too.
As you should. That one's great
because I love it.
Without getting into specific spoilers, the way they reference that in Spider-Man 2 is
that's exciting.
That's all I'll say. There is a reference to that trailer without any other detail.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know how that would work. I mean, don't tell me, I guess.
I'll tell you right now, bro. Miles is on the computer and he wants to show us this video of like a cat like petting a baby. But before he's like, oh man, I got to watch the new trailer for Spider-Man 2018 coming to PlayStation 4. And they just play the trailer in the middle of the game. It was a weird choice, kind of breaking the fourth wall.
He's like,
I'm playing
he said, hey, yo, is this you?
Are you showing me the first?
He's like, this looks familiar. But no, those are the last two I had.
It's a Spidey sense, but it's a That's So Raven like vision.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna rapid fire a couple here as my last few, and my last one is my last one for a reason. I did want to shout these two out in particular, just because like I think they are like iconic and very high, because you'd be hard pressed to find a developer as beloved as Rockstar. It's like everyone knows Red Dead and GTA, and so this is a twofer because there is a trailer for GTA 5 and a trailer for Red Dead 2 that are like 90% just establishing shots. It's just location shots showing off Los Santos and well, all of Red Dead, because it gets from all over the place. You get Strawberry and like all these different places, right? I'm not the biggest GTA fan in the world, so I'm going to be referring mostly to the Red Dead one. But I mean, yeah, it's most of the original Red Dead Redemption 2 trailer is just location shots. You see this train go by, a bunch of buffalo. You see the inside of one of the towns, right? People out doing things, and you've got this voiceover from fucking, why can't I remember his name now? Oh my god, who's the main character of Red Dead 2? Arthur, thank you. My brain got stuck on Austin. I was like, that's not his fucking name.
Austin Ernst, host
Austin
of Shared
Ernst,
Tweets and lead of Red Dead Redemption 2.
Star of Red Dead 2. you have this voiceover from Arthur, essentially, like sitting there talking about how like the age of the cowboys is over, the world is changing, and we don't belong here anymore. And then you get this great like shot from behind him as this train is rolling up, and then a shot of like the gang like all like riding off into the distance, and the title card of Red Dead Redemption 2. Fucking amazing. For the final one for today though, I would like to pull out, this is a reveal trailer for this game from E3 2016, just because of the way that they pulled this off. You see this little boy lighting candles, praying to gods unknown over his dead mother. You're sitting there going, what is this? What am I looking at? Camera pans, and you see just the silhouette of Kratos in the doorway. And you're like, holy fucking shit, it's God of War. My God. Like, just unbelievable. And then they followed up with a little bit of gameplay. You see the troll come up at the end. It's this beautiful
Mhm.
blend of cinematics and gameplay, showing off like the new tone for the series, what's going on, what it is. I mean, it's mind blowing. Like to this day, that was another one. Like just like I said with like the Smash Everyone Is Here trailers. Like I remember where I was, who I was with, what
Oh,
I
yeah.
was doing when I saw that trailer for
Yeah.
the first time. Like just 10 out of 10 masterpiece. Wouldn't
Yeah.
change it. Perfect.
The newer God of Wars, like the PS4 duology, I guess I'll refer to it right now,
Mhm.
is like those are the only ones I've played. But like I was working at Best Buy or at GameStop in 2016, and like I remember that E3 trailer kind of like blowing the fuck up and put that game even on my radar. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, like people are
Mhm.
hyped as fuck for
Yep.
this, even though the original games are very different. And everyone's like, well, and everyone's explaining like it's cool because like this is supposed to be a reboot. They're going with the Norse mythology now, so like I
Yep.
was in.
Oh, same.
And it was like that thing too, to where it was like it was a reboot, but it wasn't like ignoring the earlier games. It was still a
Right.
Yeah,
continuation of the story, which I thought was so cool. You didn't really see
it was
that.
it was a
Reboot more so
soft
in
reboot.
gameplay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. It was a soft reboot, and it was like I don't know that I'd played another game that had done something like that yet. And so I thought that was
Mhm.
that was really really cool. We get this new interpretation of Kratos in the world without it erasing everything that came before. It was just awesome. And I mean, yeah, the Norse mythology, like aesthetic in general, I think
One of
is
the
is is
coolest,
just
yeah.
dope. Like, yeah, they just absolutely nailed it. Great game, great trailer,
And,
fabulous.
I mean, shout out to that one too because that's also, like, a heavy part of the, Raising Kratos documentary where
Yeah,
they go do the E3 2016, like, portion of that.
yeah. I remember watching that, and it was so funny to me. Like, and like I understand why, but like all those devs going in there and they're like, man, I hope they like it.
Right?
I really really
Yeah.
hope this hits. And I was like,
Oh,
yeah,
it
there was
hits
the
because you had the live
yeah.
orchestra there,
Oh
and
my gosh, I forgot about that. It's so cool. So cool.
oh,
Remember when E3 existed? Thank you
Simpler
guys
times.
so much for watching this today. We love talking about video games. We love talking about video game trailers. If there's anything that we talked about today that we missed and you want to talk to us about it, drop in the comments. Go hit us up on Twitter. I would love to talk more about video game trailers that we didn't talk about here, because video games are cool and video game trailers are also cool. Please like and subscribe and do all that other stuff, and we will see you again very soon.